You know, for over 70 years, one single story has pretty much defined our search for the unknown. Roswell, a supposed crash in the desert that got all of us looking up at the sky. But what if that was the ultimate head fake? Today, we're not digging into grainy black and white photos from the 40s. We're diving deep into recently declassified government files, official military videos, and sworn testimony in front of Congress. And it all points to one thing. The real story isn't happening up there. It's happening deep beneath the waves.
And that right there is the central question, isn't it? The whole conversation is shifting away from unidentified flying objects to something else entirely, unidentified submerged objects, or USOs. And let me be clear, this isn't science fiction anymore. This is now a matter of public record, and as you'll see, a serious matter of national security. Look, we all know the Roswell story. It's baked into our culture, a desert crash that made the whole world look up. But here's the thing. While the public was captivated by flying saucers in the sky, declassified records are now showing us that the U.S. Navy was documenting truly bizarre encounters in the ocean. So you have to ask, what if Roswell, whether it was real or not, was the greatest misdirection of all time, keeping our eyes on the sky while the most incredible anomalies were happening right off our own coasts? So, yeah, let's go beyond that desert sky. For decades, the public story was all about flying saucers. But a flood of official information is forcing us to see this whole phenomenon in a completely new way and in a completely new place. This right here represents a huge shift. We don't have to rely on speculation and conspiracy theories anymore. The evidence is now coming straight from the source. We're talking official documents like this one, released through the Freedom of Information Act, sworn testimony from decorated military officers, and authenticated videos from our most advanced weapon systems. The paper trail is finally public. And this is where the story goes from strange to straight up unbelievable. Because the most shocking capability that's being reported in these declassified files isn't just that these things can fly, it's how they move between different environments in a way that should be totally impossible.
This is the key term you need to know: transmedium travel. I mean, think about it. Imagine an object moving through the air and then instantly into the water. Our best tech has to make huge compromises to do that. A seaplane is a perfect example, right? It's not a great plane, and it's not a great boat. But these objects, according to our own military, show zero drop in performance as they go from one domain to the next.
So let's just do a little physics thought experiment. Picture an object, any object, screaming along at over 5 times the speed of sound. What do you think is going to happen when it slams into something as dense as water? You'd expect a catastrophic impact, right? A huge splash, an explosion of energy, chaos. But according to the sensor data and the eyewitness accounts from our best-trained military pilots, the answer is nothing. Absolutely nothing. And that is the core anomaly that has everyone scrambling for answers. Let's just break down why this is so impossible. When these objects are seen entering the water, pilots and radar operators report no sonic boom, no splash, no heat signature, no massive release of energy that you would absolutely expect. They don't slow down. They don't break apart. They just punch through the surface of the water as if it's not even there. This just flat out defies our understanding of physics and material science. And listen, this isn't just a fun theory. The US government is taking this so seriously that its official investigation office, AARO, was specifically ordered by Congress to hunt down these transmedium objects. It's now officially on the books as a potential national security threat.
Okay, so we know what these things can do. The next logical question is, where are they doing it? Because as investigators have started to piece this together, they're finding out that these encounters are almost never random. There is a very clear and, frankly, disturbing pattern emerging.
Let's go back to that famous 2004 Nimitz Tic Tac incident. We've all seen the fuzzy video of the object in the air, right? But the most important detail is the one that always gets glossed over. The Top Gun pilot, Commander David Fravor, he testified that when he first got there, he saw a massive disturbance on the ocean's surface, a churning patch of white water the size of a passenger jet. And that Tic Tac, it was hovering right above it. So here's the kicker. The Tic Tac story was never just an air story. Fravor reported that the object in the air was perfectly mirroring the movements of something huge just below the surface. It looked like it was interacting with it, or maybe even docking with a much bigger submerged object that was causing all that white water. this was an air and sea event. And the Nimitz encounter? It's not a one-off. As former intelligence officers like Luis Elizondo have pointed out, when you start mapping these sightings, they consistently pop up around our most sensitive military and civilian infrastructure. They're seen near nuclear aircraft carriers, naval bases, and even over the critical undersea fiber optic cables that carry all our global internet traffic. The pattern suggests one thing: surveillance. All of this begs one giant question. Why are we hearing all this now? Well, the answer lies in a really recent and unprecedented political shift in Washington, D.C. that has dragged this whole topic out of the shadows and straight into the halls of Congress. I mean, just look at how fast this is all moving. It really kicked off in 2017 with that bombshell New York Times article. Just 3 years later, in 2020, the Pentagon itself is officially saying, yep, those Navy videos are real. Then, in 2023, you have decorated intelligence officers testifying under oath to Congress about secret cover-ups. And now the AARO mandate is being expanded even further. This topic has gone from the fringe to the mainstream at light speed.
Now, this slide looks kind of boring, but this is an incredibly important change in the official language. The government quietly switched from saying unidentified aerial phenomena to unidentified anomalous phenomena. It seems like just swapping one word for another, but the reason why they did it is a really, really big deal. And we know exactly why they did it. According to Luis Elizondo, the guy who ran the Pentagon's original UAP program, this wasn't just them being picky about words. This was a legal and a jurisdictional power move. By changing aerial to anomalous, Congress was forcing the investigation to cover all domains: space, air, and, most importantly, underwater. It basically forces all branches of the military, including the very secretive Navy, to share their data on these things.
So when you put all of this together, you've got the declassified files, the physics-defying tech, the strategic locations they keep showing up in, and these new legal mandates. It becomes crystal clear that the entire public debate has fundamentally and probably permanently changed. So let's just do a quick recap of the key takeaways here. Number 1, the phenomenon is real. It's confirmed by the Pentagon and tracked by our best military gear. 2, these things have transmedium abilities that we simply cannot explain or replicate. 3, they show up with what looks like strategic purpose near our most sensitive infrastructure. And 4, the US government is past the point of debating it. They are now legally required to investigate this as a national security issue. And that's where we are now. For decades, the big question was, are UFOs real? Well, thanks to all this declassified data and this new wave of transparency, that question is basically obsolete. The official debate has moved on. The evidence confirms these things are here, in our skies and in our oceans. So the only question left to answer is the most profound one of all. What are they?